Hello all, and welcome back to the Easy Nerd. Today I'm continuing the reimagining of the Snyderverse and building it up to be more like the MCU in structure, continuing the DCEU Phase 1. Now so far we've had Man of Steel in 2013, unchanged. Then Batman Arkham Asylum, the solo Batman movie introducing Batman, in 2014. Then in 2015, the Man of Steel sequel called Man of Steel Last Son. Then in 2016, we get the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman, completely unchanged. And then later in 2016, we have this movie, The Flash, directed by Rick Famuyiwa, who was originally set to direct it. The cast would be as follows. The Flash, aka Barry Allen, played by Ezra Miller. Captain Cold, aka Leonard Snart, played by Channing Tatum. Iris West, played by Kiersey Clemons. Captain Boomerang, a.k.a. Digger Harkness, played by Jai Courtney. Mirror Master, a.k.a. Sam Scudder, played by Shameik Moore. The Trickster, a.k.a. James Jesse, played by Mark Hamill, as per the tradition of that character. Patty Spivot, played by Sori Monica Jackson. Albert Desmond, a.k.a. Dr. Alchemy, played by Rudy Mancuso. Silas Stone, played by Joe Morton. Captain Singh, played by Sanjeev Bhaskar. Nora Allen, played by Maribel Verdú. Henry Allen, played by Billy Crudup. We would also have a cameo from Grant Gustin as a Flash from the Arrowverse Earth, as well as a voice cameo from Clancy Brown as that Earth's Gorilla Grodd. Anyways, onto the plot. We would start off with a flashback of a child Barry Allen who, after bonding with his parents, Henry and Nora Allen, rushes downstairs to find his father holding his mother. And then, as Barry watches, his father is arrested. In present-day Barry, a young adult in Central City College is shown to live alone in his warehouse-like apartment, and he's late for college where his geeky friends Patty Spivot and Albert Desmond taunt him. And in an end-of-semester lecture, he sits next to Iris West, who knew him from school, who is studying crime, and she asks him about his mother and that she looked into it and believes his dad to be innocent. But Barry storms out, not wanting to hear about it, believing his father to be a murderer. Meanwhile, Silas Stone is established at the Central City Star Labs branch to be leading its opening. Taking a break from his work in Gotham and Metropolis, Barry that night, after spending time with his friends Patty and Albert at a diner, returns home where Iris West is, who apologizes to him for bringing up his parents, and he invites her into his apartment. And she tells him when he's ready, he should look into that day more, as the investigation was botched. And Barry says he doesn't have a computer. But Iris says there's plenty at the college. Barry then sneaks into the college and finds a chemistry lab open. And while he uses a computer to research his mother's death, Zod's ship from Man of Steel circles around the planet as the events of Man of Steel play out. As that happens, lightning strikes the chemistry lab through the chemicals and hitting Barry, giving him the Flash powers. And as security arrive, Barry at super speed flees with his clods burning off in the process, running through nighttime Central City. And then he returns to his home and falls asleep exhausted. The next day, Barry wakes up as the world engines attack Metropolis and creates a rubbish prototype suit and rushes to Metropolis and saves a little boy, but fails to save his father. Barry after returns home exhausted and passes out, and wakes up with Iris West doing a blog on how Superman saved the world with the U.S. military, which inspires Barry. We are then introduced to Leonard Snart, who drinks at a bar toasting the world being saved, as former partner in crime Digger Harkness says there are a lot of alien tech they could steal and use for heists. But Leonard refuses, slamming Digger down, stating he's out the game. 18 months later, Barry, while out with Patty and Albert, discovers his hero Superman has been killed battling Doomsday during the events of Batman vs. Superman, which depresses him. Barry, after wanting to be like Superman, begins creating his Flash suit. Meanwhile, Star Labs is in Central City, led by Silas Stone, is shown to have a lot of Kryptonian tech that it starts to research. Leonard Snart visits the crazed James Jesse, aka the Trickster, in prison and agrees to break him out. The Flash is first shown at night standing on a Central City rooftop as he sees Captain Singh and the CCPD chase down some criminals in a long car chase, and Flash speeds after them in epic fashion, even saving a walking Iris West from being run down by the criminals. and the Flash eventually ends the car chase by dismantling the criminal's car and then knocking them all down from behind, allowing Captain Singh and the CCPD to arrest them, as the Flash runs away celebrating. Leonard Snart approaches Digger Harkness about putting the rogues back together and freeing the trickster from prison to rob some Kryptonian tech. Barry returns to his apartment and sees footage of Iris West's blog praising the Flash, comparing him to the late hero Superman, which makes him happy. Then the Flash takes down 2 armored goons robbing a bank in Central City known as the Turtle Twins, who wear armor, and the Flash, cockily with ease, dismantles their armor. However, due to the Flash's actions, both are shot dead by CCPD SWAT team on the orders of Captain Singh, devastating the Flash, who, as Barry returns home upset that the 2 robbers were killed. Meanwhile, it's revealed Albert Desmond has an online alias of Dr. Alchemy, as he reveals to be in contact with Leonard Snart along with his young friend Sam Scudder, who wants to join Snart's rogues gang, and that the Flash took down their allies, the Turtle Twins, and want revenge. At the Iron Heights Supermax prison, it is hacked by Dr. Alchemy, and its security shuts down and all inmates are freed for their cells, as rogues, Captain Cold and Captain Boomerang, enters and take out guards looking to free James Jesse, as Barry wakes up and sees news coverage of the riot, and as the Flash speeds to the prison and in an epic slow-motion sequence, one by one puts inmates back in their cells and locks them, even coming across his father, Henry Allen, saving the life of a stabbed inmate, and then Flash confronts the both rogues, Captain Cold and Boomerang, who have freed James Jesse, as the 2 villains fire their arsenal at the Flash, who dodges but is eventually hit as the 3 villains escape in an armored transport and Flash is forced to retreat. Meanwhile, Patty Spivot discovers her boy Albert is Dr. Alchemy and working with the rogues, shocking her. Leonard Snart, Digger Harkness, and James Jesse, who suits up in his old trickster suit, meet up and discuss robbing Star for Kryptonian tech and taking down the Flash for vengeance, and discuss the new recruits being Albert and Sam. Barry in the street comes across Patty Spivot, who tells him Albert is Dr. Alchemy, and Barry says he knows and will tell the Flash, as Patty gives Barry Albert's location via a Find My Friend app. While Captain Singh and the CCPD go through the known rogues and their abilities, the Flash tracking Albert goes to the rogues' underground base, where he is confronted by a lone Captain Cold, who tries to get Flash join him, revealing he's not the monster he's made out to be, as he doesn't kill, and that, unlike the rich of powerful elite of Central City, he had nothing. He grew up on the streets after his mother was murdered by the mob, and his father went to prison framed for it, which the Flash sympathizes with, as Captain Cold offers his hand to the Flash to join him, who refuses. And then Flash speeds at and dodges Captain Cold's cold gun, but is hit by a hidden cold gun, and then to a half-frozen Flash and Captain Cold's shock. The trickster appears on the base's screens, taunting the Flash, as he reveals he's planted bombs in the base, and Captain Cold flees while secret exit, and the Flash, as the time ticks down, gets free, and then speeds out of the exploding base, running so fast he enters the Speed Force itself. The Flash then runs into the Arrowverse Earth's Central City, where the Arrowverse Gorilla Grodd attacks him, but the Arrowverse Flash speeds in and knocks Gorilla Grodd out, and the 2 Flashes meet with the Arrowverse Flash, giving Flash a pep talk on being a hero as they discuss their mother and father, and the Arrowverse Flash reveals in every Earth he visited, Henry Allen never killed Nora Allen, inspiring the Flash, who, while advised by the Arrowverse Flash, runs at speed to enter the Speed Force and return to his own Earth. Meanwhile, rogues Leonard Snart, Digger Harkness, and James Jesse welcome Albert Desmond, aka the hacker Dr. Alchemy, and Sam Scudder, now the Mirror Master with a mirror gun, into the rogues' gang. Barry Allen finally visits his father, Henry Allen, in prison, in a emotional scene, telling him he didn't kill his mother. Rogues Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang, the Trickster, and Mirror Master suit up for the coming heist of Star Labs. Barry, after visiting his mother's grave, suits up as the Flash after a phone call from Patty, and the Flash and Patty speak to Albert and get him betray the rogues as Flash reveals he is Barry as they contact Captain Singh at the CCPD and Albert stops his hack of Star Labs. The Flash then speeds towards Star Labs as rogues Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang, the Trickster, and Mirror Master force their way into Star Labs, destroying much of it, taking Silas Stone, Iris West, who interviewing Silas and other Star Labs staff hostage as they begin stealing Kryptonian tech. And the Trickster plants bombs on the Kryptonian tech as Silas Stone protests, stating he'll destroy Central City if the Kryptonian tech explodes. And then, the Flash speeds in, confronting the rogues, as he's able to knock down Captain Cold and Boomerang. However, Mirror Master knocks him into the mirror dimension, which the Flash, in a epic, trippy scene confronting his past demons of his mother's death, manages to escape out of and punch and knock out Mirror Master. But the Trickster then goes to detonate his bombs, but is knocked out by Iris West from behind. But one bomb's countdown triggers, so the Flash grabs the bomb and runs back into the mirror dimension and leaves it where it detonates safely. After the Flash goes to confront the escaped Trickster outside, as Captain Singh and the CCPD arrest Captain Boomerang and Mirror Master. But the Flash is suddenly frozen by Captain Cold, who then uses his cold gun to kill the Trickster. Angry, he nearly blew him up earlier, and wanting to be the senior leader of the rogues, as the Flash speeds into and knocks Captain Cold down, allowing him to be arrested as the Star Labs staff and Iris applaud the Flash's actions, who stands tall, a hero. In the aftermath, the Flash is hailed Central City's resident superhero. Barry once again visits his father, Henry Allen. As Barry reveals to Henry he saw a yellow figure the night Nora Allen died, which is shown briefly to be the Reverse Flash. Then Barry calls Iris West, thanking her for pushing him to look into his mother's death. After Albert Desmond in court, supported by Barry and Patty, then goes on the witness stand and is the star witness to put Leonard Snart, Digger Harkness, and Sam Scudder away, as Leonard Snart vows vengeance in Iron Heights prison. The Flash that night smiles and epically speeds through Central City, as it's revealed he is being tracked by a Wayne Enterprises satellite as Flash runs forward. And that was the solo Flash movie. Then, to complete the DCEU Phase 1, we would have Wonder Woman in 2017, unchanged. And then finally, to finish off Zack Snyder's Justice League late in 2017, both unchanged. Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. This has been The Easy Nerd.